Guys are ready.
Here we are, Super Bowl Radio Row. No, it's not. It is live. It's not Memorex. This isn't 2023 in Phoenix with Solomon Wilcots. It's 2024 Chiefs Niners, Super Bowl 58. Solomon Wilcots, once again, though, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
That's right, guys. I'm right back here with you guys. We did this, I think, 1 year ago, right?
Yes, we did.
On Radio Row here at the Super Bowl. This time, we're in Vegas, not Phoenix.
Yeah, a little bit more hit to the pocketbook here. Are you surviving?
No
Are you
doubt.
pacing yourself okay, Solomon?
Just trying to get a meal in this town, man.
I have yet to do so.
It is skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Even Johnny Rockets over there hit me up for half $100. Johnny Rockets, bro.
Get a nice burger and fries for that half
All
$100.
right.
Well, here we are, man. This is another incredible, feat here by the Chiefs and Niners getting here. We had you on our Arrowhead Allies live show talking Chiefs and Bengals. It's interesting leading up to that. The Chiefs had just lost on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Playing the way they played.
Yeah.
Haven't lost since. Have only turned the ball over, I believe, once since then.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, this Chiefs team looks like it's the real deal. All of a sudden, it's only a month and a half later.
And the fact is that I think we've seen in this era of, salary cap and in free agency, there are no perfect teams, right? Every team has got like an Achilles heel somewhere. It's just a matter of, can you exploit it? The 49ers are struggling with their run defense. Kansas City Chiefs, maybe they don't have the explosive playmakers at the wide receiver position like when they had a Tyreek Hill. And maybe because of salary cap constraints, they can't just go out and buy another. They got to find a way to win in a different kind of way. Give them credit for the fact that they have been able to do that. Give them credit for the fact that they developed a running game and they're using the explosive playmaker that is Isaiah Pacheco. And that's why I think the Chiefs are a real tough team to beat. They seem to find a way, and they have this quarterback that nobody seemed to be able to get out. Like, this guy's a tough guy to beat. And that's what I think a lot of people love the most about Patrick Mahomes. Got great talent, but his will to win is second to none.
Talk about the locker room for the Chiefs. I don't know if you've ever been a part of a team that's seen one position group actively hurt your team, not just the drops, maybe in a first quarter, second quarter, in the fourth quarter, in crunch time, in big moments, pick sixes we saw from Kadarius Toney and the Lions, lining up off sides on offense when Travis Kelce.
Chris Collinsworth would never.
No, of course not.
No.
But just talk about how tight-knit that locker room has to be to not point fingers at guys.
Yeah, I think that was tested, right, this year. There's no doubt about it. And I think the leadership of Patrick Mahomes is, in this sense, I think is very underrated. We all know he's a great player. I think in game, he's a great leader. Hell, the last time they played the 49ers in Super Bowl 54, they were down by 10 points with about 8 minutes to go. And look what he did there, dialed up 21 straight points. They win it by 10 going away. I mean, so you see the leadership there. It takes a different kind of leadership to say that, no, this is on me. How many of us in our lives have really, when all hell is breaking loose, adversity's flying around, and you had nothing to do with the problem, said, no, that's my fault? I mean, it takes a lot of courage, man, and it takes real strong leadership, strong presence, because that's what he did. He kept saying, no, it's my fault. I got to throw a better pass. I can do better. I can do this. I can do that. And he never let his wide receivers feel the frustration that he was going through.
Yeah, because it's one thing to say it publicly, but then in the locker room, you're pointing fingers and yelling at him. But he wasn't doing that because they wouldn't have come back and had the confidence to do what they've done in the playoffs.
That's right. That's special.
Solomon, talk about the power of broadcasting. We see today more than ever there's a microscope on a Tony Romo and a Jim Nantz. They're going to be calling the Super Bowl for CBS. I always say, and this is what I am, just a football junkie. I love the game. I love sports. Yeah. And of course, I know you as a player as well, but that you guys write the lyrics. The players play the songs. You as a broadcaster write the lyrics and how important that is and how important it's become. And just kind of talk about the art of broadcasting and like, where did you feel more pressure, on the field or in that booth?
No, I think the preparation is really about the performance, and it's the same way as on the field. All week you're studying. You've got to know the tendencies of both teams as a broadcaster who's calling a game like this. Remember, along the way, Jim Nance and Tony Romo, they've called a lot of Chiefs games, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of know. They're filling in. They've called some 49ers games, probably getting more caught up there. More importantly, you are the storyteller.
Exactly.
You know, you're a storyteller. You're going to weave, and Jim Nance is great at it, by the way, right? I mean, you're weaving the story as it's unfolding in front of you. So you come in with background information on all the characters, right, and on both teams. But as the game is unfolding in front of you, now you're starting to fill in these pieces. You're telling the story of these players, of these individuals, of the coaches, and what you could expect to happen, which I think is the toughest part of it. I work for the great Fred Gaudelli, one of the great broadcast producers in all of sports. He did the Sunday night games for years with NBC. He's the guy that put together the team for Jeff Bezos, right, and Amazon. And we called it proactive analysis. How do you tell people what they can expect? Tony Romo, you heard him do it plenty of times. Now, I think, Tony started telling people the play before it happens. It's kind of like going to a movie. It's no fun watching a movie with a guy always telling you, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're kind of like, okay, that's enough of that, right? Yeah. And Tony kind of backed up off of it. But you can do that at critical moments in games. Third down, short yardage goal line plays, inside the red zone, final 2 minutes of each half as you're on the game-winning drive. Tell people what they could expect. That's where the game really elevates, I think, for viewers who are watching at home, because you're creating this dramatic moment, right? That's about to unfold. But you don't want to get in the way of the game as the broadcaster. You just want to complement the game as a really great storyteller.
Yeah, and talk about how the Chiefs have turned into the villain. Everybody hates the Chiefs. Jamar Chase was on SportsCenter, I believe, asked, who do you want to see win the Super Bowl? He said, anybody but the Chiefs. Oops. Growing up, for the first 33 years of my life, we were the lovable losers. And now everybody can't wait to see us lose.
Because you've got Seabiscuit. You got the most talented quarterback in the league, right? This doesn't come around, but maybe once or every other generation do you get a quarterback like this. You guys should know, right? You had a lot of – you guys, I remember, was that team you would go buy a quarterback.
We can name them all if you would like.
Yeah, I know you can.
Don't have time for that.
Steve DeBerg.
Yeah, the older guys that were kind of their best years was behind them, but you guys would take them because you felt like, it's better than what we had. But now you got the real deal. You drafted them. You groomed them just for moments like this. And he's still, guess what, guys? He's in his prime, right? Yeah. And so, people are not going to like you. It's just like, you know what it was like. You go to the prom with the prettiest girl.
I don't know what that's like. No.
Solomon, that's a story that only you can tell.
Thank you, though.
No, well, okay. Nobody liked you. I'm just here to tell you. You go to the prom with the prettiest girl. They're going to be trying to nudge you out of the way. They're going to be trying to trip you down the stairs. Anything to unhinge your position. Yeah. Right? And that's where the Chiefs are right now.
I love it. I relish in it.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Solomon, I got to be honest. I'm going to be 40 on Super Bowl Sunday. It could be the best, could be the worst birthday. We'll see. But they tell me things like knee replacements could be in my future, that I'm going to start needing more help, if you will. Former athletes and the help they need. Tell us about Macy. You're always involved in wonderful things when you come here. Last year it was composure. You didn't bring me any, which is unfortunate because I do have to go through another Super Bowl. Yeah, I am very anxious. But tell us about Macy.
I'm sorry. See, you used the whole bottle, didn't you?
Before we even got home.
And it works. And you guys know this. I pride myself on really supporting some of the best medical science out there because as football players, I can tell you as athletes, we get the best medical treatment. If something happened to Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Joe Burrow or Pat Mahomes, you can bet a team of doctors are going to rush in and they're going to we've got to save this man. He means too much to too many people. That's the medical treatment that athletes get. And so you should know about this new treatment. It's called Macy. Go to Macy.com to find out the new innovative treatment for cartilage repair damage in the knee, where they use your own stem cells to grow new cartilage. They pull out the healthy tissue and then they grow it in a lab and then they go back and reinsert it. It adheres to the healthy tissue and to the bone. It keeps you from deteriorating to the point where you're rubbing bone on bone and now you have to go get knee replacement surgery. So this is an innovative treatment. You can go to the website, maci.com, maci.com, to find a doctor in your area and learn more about the procedure.
Yeah, and Chris is we got Chris over here, and Chris, this picture of you they've given us, I have no words. Like, I mean, were you on American Gladiators at one point?
I just saw that for the first time, so I had no part in that.
Did you have a name? Was it Thunder?
I've had some nicknames in the past, yeah. But I started having this knee problem back in my mid-20s. I was in the military. I was a special operator, and not like to the extent of the professional sports teams, but we did have a team of people to support us. We had our trainers, we had our coaches, our conditioning, we had our docs, but the knee cartilage damage is something that nobody could fix. Mm-hmm. And that's what led me to getting out of the military and then pursuing other endeavors. It was only recently, well, in my late 20s, that I discovered Maci, and that was the only option that could get me back to full capability. That had the potential for that, and it worked. And now I'm active and able to do whatever I want to do, limitless as far as knee pain goes.
Well, yeah, and we're getting there ourselves. We all are. Father Time does no jobs, I hear, and use a professional wrestling reference. I mean, this stuff is so important, and I know, we've had Solomon before. He's only really endorses and is involved with things that he believes in and things that work. So clearly this is a very worthwhile endeavor, and Maci is something we want to send. It's maci.com, by the way. That's the spelling. So that's
right, maci.com. You can learn all about it, and it's indicated for ages 18 to 55. And it changed my life, and that's what we're about, Solomon and I, and just sharing that story.
So many people struggling out there that don't know about this and don't know what they can do and have tried other things that aren't working. So maci.com, check it out, maci.com.
Exactly. Thanks.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.